Hi, I'm Jeff Bowersox, scroll number 598. I'm also the treasurer of the Beta Row Housing Board.
My scroll number is 552. My name is Steve Pelko. I was at the University of Akron from 1973 till 77.
My name is Rick Kopf. My scroll number is 522. 1971 through 75. And I was president, and I was a hegemon. Then I was an epi-pretenus, and then pretenus. Spent some time on the Board of Trustees, and was president of the Board of Trustees. And TEAC is near and dear to my heart.
My name is Jack Highway. Scroll number is 566. I was at the university from about 74 to 79.
George Jenkins, 534 is my scroll number, from 1970 to 1975.
Larry Pinkerton, my scroll number is 524. I was at Akron U from 1972. I graduated in 76. I served as house manager, vice president under Rick Kopf, and president.
I'm Lon Justice. I was at University of Akron as a graduate student from 1979 to 1982, but I also was chapter advisor for Beta Row for 9 years, somewhere in the 1982 to 1990 timeframe.
My name is Bill Rhodes. I'm scroll 782, and I'm the chapter advisor here at the chapter. I initiated in fall of 1982, but I started in school in fall of 81, and I graduated in spring of 85.
I'm Jacob Ferguson, 1708.
I'm Michael Green. I'm scroll 1687.
I'm Ryan Anderson, and I am scroll number 1704.
My name is Dan LaGuardia. My scroll number is 1689, and I'm the current pretenus.
It was a wonderful time that we had in college, but 45 years later, to get together with these guys all over again, that's been a blessing. So that's where we're at today.
The person I went to high school with invited me over to a fraternity party, and I started socializing, and the next thing I knew, I thought, well, this is, seems like a lot of fun. I think this would be somewhere enjoyable. Moved into the fraternity house, and an experience that like no other.
A girl that I worked with when I was a freshman, her name was Marty Reed. Some people probably remember Marty, and she convinced me to look at fraternities and convinced me to look at TEAC specifically, and that's how I joined.
So my freshman year, I was commuting. I lived nearby, and it was just kind of boring doing the same thing every day. I'd go to class, I'd work, I'd go home, do homework, go to sleep, same thing. And my buddy, his name's Phil, he was rushing, and he told me just to come to one of the rush events, and yeah, it's pretty much been, I loved it ever since.
We went to the football stadium, was the first rush event, and there were about like 60 or 80 guys there, and some weren't even TEACs, they just came to support, and I got around that, and it was very fast-paced, a lot of fun. And I came to the next one, which was here at the house, and it was a poker night, so we got to, hang out and sit down and kind of get to know everybody a little bit better.
I ran into someone that dated my cousin from Canton, and he said, I just joined the fraternity, and he said, you should come over and meet some of the guys. And I did, and I met Coffer and Gamboa and Jack Marshall and some of the guys, and I was sold immediately. It just filled a huge void for me. It was a fabulous experience.
I knew a buddy from high school, and he told us to just come around. They had a cookout, there was like a football event and whatnot. Came around, started meeting everybody, liked everybody. I wasn't planning on it in the first place, but I'm really glad I did.
Quite frankly, I wanted to meet people, have some fun, drink some beer, and meet some ladies. And I went to a couple rush parties, and I happened onto TEAC. In the simplest terms, that's why I joined a fraternity house.
Coming into the fraternity was a place where we were able to take all of those little intricacies that you did that were a little bit out of the ordinary. Where in high school, people made fun of you if you're doing that, funny if you're doing that. But in the fraternity, unlike that, we went well beyond that, because we didn't just make fun of it because we made you live it. But in a great sense, they embraced all of your strange little things you did, because that was your personality.
Late 70s, early 80s, which was a very fantastic time for Beta Row. I have all kinds of different memories, both good, bad, and ugly. But I think the memories that stick out in my mind are when they won their first top team chapter of that era. The Midnight Madness parties that started at midnight. The camaraderie and spirit of the fraternity, the brotherhood. Beta Rho, when you said on the bond, meant something.
It's nice living with your brothers. I mean, I live with 20 other guys, which is awesome. Awesome kitchen.
I did not expect it to be this big. I got here, it was beautiful. It's a great environment. I prefer it much more than the dorms. When I still lived in a dorm at the beginning of this past fall semester, I would come here to do homework. Once I got around guys, I couldn't stay at the dorm, so I would come here, and this was just the place to be.
Philanthropy-wise, our biggest philanthropy is we work the concession stands at the Browns games. That's huge. We love doing that. It's like a fun way of giving back. You know, we go work the games. They pay us because St. Jude takes care of us pretty well.
It was always intramural sports that really excited me. We always had a decent flag football team. It wasn't until my junior year that we won the campus championship. Not only the Greek championship, but also the campus championship in flag football. And then we also won the Greek all-sports trophy 2 years in a row, my junior and senior year. So that was a lot of fun.
Midnight Madness was a blast. Chapter meeting prior to it, when we gave out the annual fun awards, was always a lot of fun. Halloween was a lot of fun, and so was Pledge Prank. Everybody remembers Pledge Prank, and everybody probably remembers Pen Prank when Gary Penn pranked the house. Those were a lot of good times, a lot of good memories.
Events and fun things and Halloween parties, but the essence of it is the people.
Living in the house, it brought us together. We know things about each other that nobody else does.
We loved one another in a deeper sense. We cared for each other. We watched out for each other. We shared our joys and our sorrows with one another. It was like brothers. It's family.
It gave me a tremendous amount of self-confidence coming out of college, out of Teeks. I felt like I could set the world on fire.
Man for Others taught us how to live with men our own age, how to fit in with people, how to be a leader, how to know right from wrong.
It just influenced me to be more outgoing, more less shy, I guess. More like I'll walk up to you, take initiative, talk to you. Just more professional, just in a social setting, in a professional setting, all of it. Just really be able to have a presence in a room, I guess.
For example, the Chicago trip, we went back in February for RLC's, the Regional Leadership Conference, and we got to meet, the Grand Peritinus, the CEO of Teak, and there's thousands of people, Teaks all over the world there. So I got to, it's nothing but standing around, talking to everybody, learn more about the fraternity and what it's about and what we do and what we represent. And I'm in sales, so me being around people, talking to people is a big part of what I do now in school and what I'm going to be doing in the future. So that's kind of give me the baseline, the foundation of what I'm getting into.
I look at the fraternity as something that not just took you into being a man, but it taught us in just a very embracing way about how to be yourself and to be a true person, how to be, in a lot of ways, honest with yourself and honest with others so that you could grow and just really become the person that you are. And I really look to the fraternity years that I had that really molded me into becoming a very confident person in my life to go out and experience everything.
I applied those things that I learned in dealing with people in my business career and in my personal life, but especially in my business career with managing people, dealing with people. It was a tremendous help.